A very warm welcome to today's edition of Money Moves. I am Melissa Enoch here at the FMDQ studios in Lagos. Then let's begin your news now in South Africa, where Capitec Bank has reported a 26% jump in half-year profit to 7.99 billion rand for the 6 months ended 31 August 2025, up from 6.42 billion rand last year. Headline earnings per share, the country's key profit measure, also climbed 26% year-on-year. The lender declared an interim dividend of 26.20 rand per share compared to 20.85 rand a year earlier. In Cape Town at the African Energy Week Summit, the Mauritius Commercial Bank, or MCB, today leads the signing of a non-disclosed agreement between Energias and TotalEnergies. Speaking to the deal, the Executive Vice President in charge of energy at the MCB, Matthew Thomas, says the agreement will provide funding for Energias investments in offshore oil exploration in frontier Angola waters. Let's now listen to him.
What is more important is the fact that MCB and A2 work together to structure a transaction that help one of the strategic requests and demand of the Angolan regulators to bring additional barrels into production.
Still at the African Energy Week, Seplat Energy, an indigenous company listed on both the Lagos and London stock exchanges, says the integration of new assets that were recently acquired is a learning curve in terms of culture, efficiency, and operational performance. The Chief Executive Officer of Seplat, Roger Brown, speaks to Frontier Africa Report's executive editor, Bosing Omofaye, on Wednesday in Cape Town in a fireside chat that focused on recent acquisition strategy, financing partnerships, and the evolving regulatory landscape in the oil and gas sector. Let's take a listen.
Our last two acquisitions have been corporate acquisitions. And corporate acquisitions means a living, breathing company with assets, liabilities, a track record, and very importantly, people, which means culture. And that is one of the first things we look at in any corporate acquisition is, do the cultures fit?
A strong message of collaboration, cooperation, and defiance to continue the drilling of oil and gas is resonating at the 2025 edition of the African Energy Week holding in South Africa. The head of the African Energy Chamber, NJ Ayuk, says the continent will not stop drilling for fossil fuel, while an official of the U.S. Department of Energy, John Vols, adds that no country or group has the right to dictate how countries should pursue their energy sustainability. Let's take some excerpts.
Exploration for energy is bad. The state of African energy is resilient and it continues to go strong. Liberia just signed a few new blocks with TotalEnergies. Maybe Mike Sansa will tell us what he signed.
Finally, on news now, the Nairobi Securities Exchange has launched a new banking sector index to track the performance of listed banks, providing investors with a transparent and reliable benchmark. The index, effective October 1, will cover shares of 11 banks, including KCB Group, Equity Group, NCBA, Cooperative Bank, Stanbic Holdings, and Standard Chartered Bank Kenya. NSE Chief Executive Frank Mwiti said the move demonstrates the exchange's commitment to innovation and positions it as a modern, globally competitive marketplace.
Let's now track how the markets are wrapping up today, starting off with the equities as usual. In Nigeria, the NGX All-Share Index closed at the positive, up 0.19%. The BRVM in Abidjan fell 0.34% to 324.10. And the Nairobi Stock Exchange gained 0.45% to 178.96. In North Africa, the EGX advanced 0.36%, while in Mauritius, the same index gained 0.28%. And in South Africa, the Johannesburg Stock Exchange is 0.10%.
Grace, thank you very much for those markets updates. And that's it on today's edition of Money Moves. From all of us here at the FMDQ studios, we say thank you very much for watching and bye for now.